My brother Randy,
What's up?
welcome, man.
Thank you.
I want to jump straight into this. What made you start fighting, man?
What made me start fighting? Actually, that is it's a good question. Honestly, I never started fighting because I was searching for something. I would say I started fighting because one of my best friends, I consider him my brother, and we were living together in Rocky Hill. And I was like, I've always been someone that's enjoyed working out, being in shape. That's just been my thing. But during COVID, things kind of like shut down, and I was still trying to like stay active. And his way of doing it was like grappling.
So he was a jiu-jitsu guy before you started training.
Yeah, he was a jiu-jitsu guy, but I wouldn't like he practiced jiu-jitsu but never really went to a school to practice it, never went through like any rankings. He was just watched a lot of grappling. He was a big UFC fan, that guy. And we were just drinking. We both were drinking, and we were just like, yo, let's grapple. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And keep in mind, like I just said, like I'm someone that enjoys working out, staying in shape, and so on and so forth. And he was not the complete opposite. Yin and yang, I would say, right? And this guy submitted me like 4 or 5 times in like a matter of 3 minutes. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm in better shape than you. I train more, like, I work out. There's no way I can lift your weight with one hand, brother. But this guy was just like taking my back, taking my arm. He really loves his armbar and the back attack. That's like the 2 main things he really loves doing to me. And then I was like, you know what, man, fuck that. I started watching a lot of grappling videos, and then I got myself into a jiu-jitsu gym later, like I would say a month later after that.
What gym was that?
I got to Cruvenell Brothers.
And was that the Stratford or the Monroe location you were at?
Stratford.
Nice.
Stratford. Yeah, so at the time, I was still living in Rocky Hill, and we were at the end of our contract, and I remember it was my boy Charlie. I don't know if you know Charlie Cristo. He trains at FAA sometimes.
Probably if I see him.
Yeah. He's like he's a black belt now. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. But at the time, he was training at Cruvenell's, and then I asked him about it, and both me and my boy Dylan, we went to go do jiu-jitsu, and he was like, bro, we're going to do this every single day if possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to go 2 times a day if we can, So I'm like, yeah, bro, let's go, let's do this, right? I'm like, I'm really with it, because I'm on this like this hype about it. I'm like, bro, I'm ready to do this. I want to learn, And we went for like that week, and then I didn't see my boy. I just kept on going by myself prior to that week later, And that's where I would say the rest was history, dude. Like I went there. I drove from Rocky Hill all the way to Stratford. That was like an hour ride there.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, but I was moving out that week, and we were already packing up to move. So I didn't mind it. I bit the bullet for that week, and then the week after I was back in Norwalk, and I was driving back from Norwalk to Stratford.
Rocky Hill, is that like New York? Is that in Connecticut? Where is that exactly?
That's upstate Connecticut.
Upstate Connecticut.
More like the middle of like Harford County.
Okay, what I'm trying to get through my head is, why didn't you find any other gym closer to you at the time? Why did it have to be the Cruvenells in Stratford?
Well, I tried finding some, but it didn't seem like a good idea to me because I was already gonna move out. By the time I had discovered all of this, like that I wanted to do, it was already the last month of my lease.
Makes sense.
And I was like, they wanted me to sign a whole year thing and to have to drive, and I already knew I was gonna move back to Norwalk. So I just didn't think it would make sense to, just because I'm here for this month and then the rest of the year have to keep coming back all the way up here. I didn't want to do that. So I chose Stratford, and then I moved to Norwalk with my parents for a little bit, and then that's where I would drive all the way up to Stratford to train and do that back and forth. And then eventually I moved to Stratford. Okay,
before continuing, what other sport did you do prior to getting into training martial arts?
Oh, I did soccer. Soccer was my thing, man.
My boy, there you go.
Yeah, soccer.
What position did you play in soccer?
Center back.
So you was cracking people already.
Yeah, bro. I was built like a tank, bro. That's what they loved me at center back. Yeah, when I first started playing soccer, I played as a forward, and I was just too big to move. To move how they wanted me to.
Yeah.
I was too slow.
So they threw you in the back.
Threw me in the back, yeah. And I was strong. I was bodying motherfuckers, bro.
Nice.
And then, but I eventually ended up getting hurt. I've messed up my knee. And I feel like every uncle in my family's got the same story. I was an amazing soccer player till I hurt my knee, you know?
Dude,
and
I'm that uncle now.
yeah, no, but it's just like, yo, in a lot of like, especially in a lot of Hispanic households, bro, like we always got uncles that have been like, yo, I could have played for the national team. I ran like 10 miles on the sand and played like 5 soccer games in a day. I could have been something special, but I hurt my knee, you know? So I feel like one of those uncles too, man, that, you know, got those shoulda, coulda, woulda things, you know?
That was kind of very similar to my story as well, where I also had a really bad knee injury while playing soccer. Yeah. And that's kind of like what, you know, kind of made me disconnect a little bit from the sport versus like pursuing it. But people don't realize how much stress it is on your body to play soccer, bro.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Like, it's the knees, the ankles. It's a lot, and I've suffered through so many knee injuries throughout like my youth soccer, going into like a academy, playing club, and then going into college. Dude, every single year, I just knew something's gonna happen. You know, like it's just how fast I come back. So I definitely understand that. So now you just moved from Rocky Hill. You're in Norwalk. You're back in Norwalk.
Norwalk for a couple of weeks, and then I moved to Stratford.
Oh, okay. So great. So now you even got closer to the gym.
Yeah.
So you're still training throughout this entire time period?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I'm still training throughout this, but I wasn't like, you know, training it to be UFC world champion. That's not that at the time. That wasn't really my goal. Although I had that on the back of my mind, like MMA is something that I wanted to do. Because also, you know, again, like my boy showed me all of this, and he was showing me. I remember the first fight I watched. The full card, it was Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. That was the first fight I legitimately watched myself. And that was like the Max Holloway, you know, best boxer in the UFC, baby, and looks up and slips a couple punches while looking away.
That fight was nuts.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, dude, this is so cool, bro.
I was still throwing so many punches.
Yeah, bro. And I'm like, man, I could do that shit.
And that was in 2021?
Yeah, I would say 2020. Because that was back when
there was no fans.
No fans allowed because of COVID.
Dude, that's the same time that I started falling in love with like the MMA and just the UFC as a whole, because I grew up watching UFC, right?
Yeah.
Like not really watching, but it was like my dad always had it on, kind of like a background noise. So I used to sometimes I'll sit down and I'll watch the fighters. I remember watching like the only fighters that I knew was Randy Couture. I knew Rashad Evans. I knew Rampage Jackson with the crazy chain and him kicking the doors throughout like the Ultimate Fighter. So I knew like the kind of those household names, but I never really, the sport never made sense to me. I was like, I don't understand how come every single time they're showing highlights is so many different people like holding belts and like just the whole aspect. I'm like, how does this sport work? Because at the time I'm understanding soccer, you know how soccer you have leagues and you have certain amount of games. And like just that organization of competition. And so the thought of learning MMA was just like, I wasn't, you know, I was just very heavy soccer focused. And then COVID hit, there was no soccer. It was only MMA. And I remember watching that. I remember seeing the Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker fight.
Oh.
And just to hear the shots. And just to see their like spirit throughout that entire time, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to figure out. So I started, I created a Twitter because at the time I was like, I need to follow these guys and understand, because I also didn't know when the fights were.
Oh, no?
Yeah, no. So I started like looking up online, like when is the next card? And then I didn't really understand, like, you know how it's like UFC 300, but there's like 4 other fights that happened before 301. And I'm like, wait, I don't understand. Like, how is this? You know what I mean? It's a little confusing in the beginning. And then, so yeah, I remember creating a Twitter and I followed like all the fighters that I watched during COVID. And then I started following other fighters and I started learning more about like the background. And that's what really made me fall in love with MMA, fighting, UFC, all of it. Combat sports is learning the backgrounds of these people. Like what made you do this? Or how did this come to you, and learning everyone has a different story, man. I was just like, okay, I need to figure out a way to capture this.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where we are now, man.
Yo, dude, I've met all kinds of people doing this. Everyone has different reasons as to what they start, or I guess I don't really know what the word is for it, but like everyone.
The reasoning.
Yeah. Like not everyone comes from like a broken household, you know? Some people just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, like, you know, a little bit of trauma creates a strong human being, but like, you know, there are certain people that view this sport so primal, such in a warrior way. And I get it. All power to you. But then there are some people who genuinely do this for the love of the game.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I fall in that category where I do this because I genuinely enjoy doing it.
The artist part of like being a martial artist, like that art means so much to me. And like, because I never in the beginning I did see it as like a very savage sport. But then the more and more I started watching, the more I started breaking down the techniques and hearing the commentators. That's one of the things what I really loved about COVID is like you only heard the shots and the commentating and how they're breaking down these techniques and the next steps made me really fall in love. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this is art. This is like art of movement. And then I started training BJJ, and it was just like pushed me over the edge, and I'm just like, oh my god, there's so many things to learn, like how are these guys doing it at the highest level. So now you are moved in Stratford. How long did you train before you competed? I don't know if you did compete at all.
I would say so I did my first jiu-jitsu tournament probably after a year of training in jiu-jitsu. I feel like I probably waited too long to do it, but I just didn't feel like I was ready to go out there. And also, I was a big boy when I first started training. Man, oh my goodness,
boy. How heavy were you at the time?
I was 220. 220 when I first started, and that was also because like COVID. Man, I wasn't training a lot. Remember, all the gyms shut down. And,
everything was ass.
And I had just gotten back from a deployment, right? And I had turned 21 overseas, and I had planned on just enjoying like, you know, a little bit of time before getting back into the swing of things. But then, you know, I went to Peru with my family and then came back. And then as soon as we got back, literally everything shut down. And I had just signed a lease for an apartment, and it was just me and my best friend just living in an apartment, not making the best choices every single day. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we don't have to work.
Exactly. And you had like no obligation. Everyone was just telling you stay home. Like,
yeah, exactly.
All right, well, there's only so many things I could do, you know, at the house. You mentioned deployment. You have a military background.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of light on that.
You know, I enlisted in 2019. 2019 I enlisted, and then dang, I'm getting old, brother.
Now the CCE bus.
The CTE's talking back to me. Man, you know, I remember enlisting January 2018, and then I deployed January 2019. Almost like a full year later I deployed. After all training and stuff like that. I ended up doing the reserves just because when I originally went up there, I wanted to do active duty, but I just wanted to leave, bro. You know, and for me to do it, I had to change. For me to leave soon, I had to change my contract entirely. I had to, you know, get a different job. I decided to do from active duty administration. I went from that to doing 0311 infantry rifleman, a complete 360, or sorry, a complete 180, a 180 turn, bro. Because administration is kind of like just sitting on a computer, writing paperwork. Right? You know what I'm saying? And in my head, I was like, yo, that's easy money. You're telling me I get the title Marine, I got to do some paperwork. I'll do that, you know. But I wanted to leave because at the time I was going through like a bad breakup. And I was like, you know, I just want to get out of here. I need to get out of here. And oddly enough, my recruiter was also going through a divorce at the time too. Oh, man. So me and him were going through it. We were like, I just want to get out of here. You know, but, you know, all credit to that man though. Because when, just for a little bit of context on him, I immediately became quiet about what I was going through when I heard his wife served him the divorce papers on Christmas Eve.
Oh, before the presents,
And
bro.
the worst part is that they were heading to a Christmas party.
Oh goodness.
And of which they're getting ready to leave, and then that's where like the divorce papers come right to him. Bro, I felt bad for my brother. Yeah, so I ended up enlisting in the military, and then a year later I deployed into Afghanistan. I spent about a total of 11 months away from home, 7 months in there in Afghanistan, the sandbox. Yeah.
So how? Because normally, when I think of military, right, you're signing. I thought the minimum was like a 4-year contract.
6-year contract for reservists.
So how were you able to come back in 2020?
So when you do an active duty contract, you go away for 4 years and then you come back.
Okay.
But for a reserve contract, there is no 4-year contract. It's only a 6-year, and that's it. Just a 6-year contract, because you only meet 1 week in a month and then 2 weeks in the summer.
Do you still? So are you technically no? When did your contract end then?
2026.
Oh, so like technically, if they could have wanted you to call up.
2024. 2024 is when it ended.
Okay.
But I'm officially, as of separated, 2026.
Okay. I was about to say, so throughout that entire time, if they wanted to just...
Oh, yeah. So I'm obligated from 2018 to 2024. Yeah, so 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yep. Yeah, so the 2024, I'm no longer legally obligated to go back to the unit. Of which, though, I have 2 years that are like unobligated reserve time. They call it inactive reserve. So essentially, you just in those 2 years, if you ever wanted to come back and re-extend your contract, you could have. But I chose not to, just because towards the end of my contract, that's where I started picking up martial arts. And really, I would say towards the last year of my military contract, that's where I was like, you know what, MMA is what I want to do. And I just found myself in a position where even during fight camp, I would have to go out for that whole month. And imagine missing a whole full month of fight
training,
camp, bro, you know?
It's crazy.
For my first fight, I had to do a whole training exercise for about a month in California. So I had to take a month break from my training camp, and then from there come back, do a couple weeks, and then go fight.
Oh, okay. So throughout the entire time of your your camp for military, were you like still? I know you're still like trying to figure out ways to shadow box.
Bro, I look like a weirdo, bro.
Right, just in the corner,
like jump roping, because and I'm shadow boxing in the corner. This is my first fight, bro. I don't like. There's no technique to me, bro. I look like a psychopath. Just jump roping and shadow boxing and doing some push-ups. See, that's what I was doing for conditioning.
Okay, I want to get to what led to you getting your first fight, right? Because we left off with you training in Stratford.
Yeah.
Right. You competed jiu-jitsu for after like a year and a half. You said.
Yeah.
And throughout, when did you start doing striking as well?
Ah, man, my striking background, dude. That's a funny story, actually. Yeah. So I'll give credit where credit's due. Coach Antonio, dude. I hope you're doing well, brother. But I started with him, and at the time, in Cruvenel's only had fitness Muay Thai for women. So I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, yo, I really want to fight. I really want to do this. But the guy that was teaching it was an active amateur fighter as well. We're getting ready to go pro, and he was teaching, the fitness Muay Thai classes. But I was like, you know what? If anyone knows of a good fighting gym or just how to get started fighting somewhere, it's got to be him, So I was like, you know what? I'll ask him one of these days and, see what I can do. And then by the time I had already, I had approached him, I would say I had been training jiu-jitsu for about, a year and a half, almost 2 years at this point. Actually, I would say a year and a half, because I did a year. Yeah. So I would say a year and a half. And then from there, that's where I asked him. And he was like, bro, that this is only like, women's Muay Thai fitness. But,
he probably think you're a creep trying to check out the ladies.
Bro, dude. And it's, but getting ready for my first fight, it was just using that space as for my camp.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, so you told the coach you wanted to fight, and did he agree to train you?
Yeah, so he agreed to train me, but he was like, you got to train for a year. And I told him I wanted to do MMA. But he was like, we're going to train for a year, and then we're going to get you 3 striking fights. And then from there, and once we get you comfortable on your feet, we'll get you into an MMA setting. Because I was already doing jiu-jitsu for a little bit.
Yeah, so you kind of had a little bit of background.
And some striking experience. But it's straight off the bat right into, sanctioned fights. He wasn't a big believer of unsanctioned.
Really?
Yeah.
So your first fight was sanctioned?
Yeah.
So no smokers?
No smokers, no nothing, no prior.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
So from when he agreed to do that 1 year of training with for you, did you actually do that full year of training before you had your first sanctioned fight?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's a great way to do it. I don't like. Okay. Yeah.
That was his agreement. He was like, you got to train with me for a year. A lot of like the main training we were doing was during like the women's Muay Thai fitness class. But we also found time to meet, like during the week alone, just us. Get the training in, finding a place to go spar. I don't know if you know who Carlos is. Shout out to Carlos if you're watching too.
Long hair.
Yeah, Carlson. Yeah,
great Muay Thai. Great Muay Thai.
Yeah, that guy, man. He opened up his door. At the time, he had a gym in where was it? White Plains. I think it was White Plains. Yeah, he had it in White Plains, and I would go there for sparring in preparation for my fights.
So that's where you got your main like hard sparring was at that gym.
Yeah.
Nice. And how did that first fight go, man?
I won. I won by TKO in the 3rd round.
Sheesh.
Yeah, TKO the leg kicks. Yeah.
So you went straight in with no shin guards.
No,
you did do shin guards at first. Okay, good.
Yeah, my first 2 fights were with, and then after that, the 3rd was just straight
raw.
Yeah, raw dog. Yeah. I remember, dude. Honestly, from when I first fought without shin guards, it was against this guy named Gianni Noah, and I remember in my head I was like, yo, like. I think I'm gonna get shin guards, right? I think shin guards, and then they're like, "Yeah, you're not getting shin guards." I get my gear, and I'm like, "Yeah, where my shin guards at?" They're like, "No, this is your
so
third
you
fight."
Didn't know?
No, I didn't know, and I was like, "Oh."
What a mental battle! What a mental battle!
Don't get me wrong, yeah, it's a mental battle, but on the outside, Stone, I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
No shin guards. Okay.
How was your mental state after that first win though? That first sanctioned fight. You trained for a year. You worked really hard. You pushed yourself to I know you push yourself to absolute limits because when you first start, the training is what gets you.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was your state of mind when you got that victory and especially a 3-round fight?
Yeah. I would say I learned a lot those first 3 fights, and the reason I say that is because I definitely let that win get to my head.
That's what I want to figure out. How was your state of mind after that first win?
Yeah,
that's like, okay, like this is a possibility of like I could actually do this. So what was going through your mind?
I would say at the first, I was really happy to get the win. I wasn't like crazy nervous. I remember being nervous, but I wasn't like deep, like crazy nervous. I was nervous though, but I stepped out there. I was confident, and it played well in my favor. However, after I got the opportunity to fight, probably a week later after that. Yeah. And keep in mind, I had taken a little bit of damage. The only damage I really took was like I sprained my ankle a little bit.
I knew it.
Kicking his leg, yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah, and I felt the pop in my ankle, and I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna feel that later, and I did. But it wasn't anything that could have stopped me from fighting again for sure. At least if I were to have that same injury now and I had to fight again, no problem, easy money, But at the time, I guess I was too afraid to take another risk and go out there, and then kind of because that's what I mean. Like I let the win get to my head. I was unwilling to put myself out there again to take that risk and then risk losing.
So you didn't accept that fight in the week's notice?
I didn't.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not. But the thing is, it's like as an amateur, you want to test yourself as much as you can.
I see what you mean, yeah.
And at least now, especially, you know, I know jumping forward in timeline, but after leaving Thailand, bro, like that was one of those things for sure that really changed for me. It gave me that distinction between camp and training blurred so much because I never knew how soon I was gonna fight.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so you fought 3 times. What is the record right now?
Right now, my overall record. Let me see.
No, not like right now, but your first 3 fights. You said you won the first one.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
One
okay.
and 2.
Yeah.
It was 1 and 2.
And those were all striking.
Striking, yeah, kickboxing
only.
Yeah, 2 kickboxing after that. And I did not look. I would say I rewatched those and I'm like, man, it's a lot of I give myself the credit where it's due, where the heart is there. But in terms of like, I felt like a headless chicken out there, dude. I was just throwing a throw, you know? And you know, and even because I really didn't understand what I was doing, it's like I'd freeze a lot, you know? So it just never really worked out in my favor. I never got TKO'd, but I got, you know, definitely like a unanimous loss for sure. And that was tough on me because, like, you know, losing in front of my family and my loved ones, you know, that's tough, bro, you know? Because, you know, I make a big, like, I'm one of those, I'm a big baby when it comes to fight week too, bro. I make this whole spectacle. I'm like, fuck this, fuck you, fuck this, fuck everything, you know? You know, at least now, like, you know, I'm a lot more different. I'm a lot more, I think I've matured in that sense as well, you know? But, you know, that's where I feel like I had such high expectations of myself, and I was unable to meet those expectations, and that really, like, severely, like, put me down in the dumps. Even to, like, when I ended up separating from that team and going to the team I'm with now, right? Dude, night and day difference, because now I understood what I was doing, and yeah.
Because he told you after the 3 striking fights, then you start to look for MMA.
Yeah.
Right. So what? How did it play out after you did those 3 fights?
Yeah. So after, I would say, by the time I did my last kickboxing fight, at the time I was coming out of a dark place I was in. Right. So when I took that fight, I wasn't even really looking to do anything with that. It was more of, I took that fight because I wanted something to set me on a straight path, because I had completely lost myself and I needed something to, like, you know, throw this rope on to give me a complete 180, because I didn't like the direction I was going. So I ended up taking that fight, and then from there I ended up realizing that what I wanted to do was MMA. And you know, as much as I love the coach that I was with, you know, I realized that, you know, he had no MMA experience. So I had to go to a gym that had, you know, some MMA experience.
And which gym was that?
Jonesy's
in Norwalk.
In Norwalk, yeah.
All right. So now you're at Jonesy's. How long did you train before you had your first MMA?
I wanted to fight very soon, but he made me wait a couple months, because he was like, you know, I understand. His thing was, he understood that I've already gone out there and I've done it with what I have, you know, and not that what I had was bad. It's just, it didn't look like I understood what I was doing. And the last thing he wanted to do was put me in a situation where, like, I can lose, you know, or I'm more than likely going to lose than win.
But not even just that, you could get hurt too.
Like, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we all go out there and we fight, and we understand it's like, you know, go out there, you do your thing. It's really no big deal. But however, like, the consequences are real.
Yeah,
you know, the consequences are real.
Dire.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, as much as I want to go out there and put out a highlight, you know, someone is looking to do that to me too. You know, so he definitely didn't want to put me in the position. He didn't feel like I was ready yet. So we took time to kind of just refine to do things the way he liked it, and improving my style as it was, you know, and getting me to understand everything. But it wasn't until, I would say, I came to that gym around 2 months after May. I'll say I came to that gym in May
of
2023. 2023. I didn't fight till October 2024.
Okay, so a good amount of months of training.
Yeah. So October, I took my MMA debut, and I was I was ready to go, dude. I was happy. I was like, yo, Flex gave me this guy that was like undefeated. I think at the time he was 4-0 or 3-0. Finished all of his opponents in the first round. I was the first guy that took him all 3 rounds. And you know, it was a close fight. It was definitely one of those fights that could have gone either way for sure. But in my head and in my heart, I felt like I won that fight for sure. So I from that point, I learned something very important though. Like I was like, you know, from the only thing I took from that was, as long as I give 100% of myself, I just know that regardless of the outcome, I'm at peace knowing that I gave 100% of myself. You know, whether they came short, whether I zigged when I should have zagged, it is what it is. That's the game. That's the game, you know?
It's the game, baby.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so you just now have your first amateur, or your first MMA fight. Now, how are you managing life while training? Because especially when I first started, one of my biggest challenges is like, because I realized how much the sport requires from you, and to balance regular life with fighter life, how did you find any challenge during that time to juggle the both?
Brother, yeah. I struggled a lot, bro. You know, and anyone that knew me during that time, like I was trying to become a police officer, and then I was also trying to become a professional fighter at the same time, you know. But the thing is, both of those things require 100% of yourself. Neither of them can flourish on just 50% of you.
I understand the fighter life. Explain to me why the police officer requires just as much attention as
just because the process in itself to get hired is very difficult. So many candidates, so many people that want to be cops, surprisingly, you know.
We need more cops.
Dude, it's great. We have. The thing is, bro, there's so many candidates, right? And so it's like, but it's also minor things that in your background that can really just mess you up entirely. Right. For example, for what disqualified me from I was going to get hired on to New Haven. And this is where I think the two things collided. This is where the two of my lives collided. So when I took that last fight that I told you with for kickboxing, my last fight for kickboxing, I was supposed to go to an interview the day of the weigh-ins.
For a job?
Yeah, for New Haven Police Department. Like that was like the final step from their academy, you know. And this is a career. And the thing is, I wanted to become a police officer. You know, it's just one of those things that I really wanted to do. And the career, it's a career, bro. You know, and it's one of the things that I thought to myself, like, all right, this is how I'm gonna be sustaining my family as a police officer. So I needed that job, and you know, unfortunately, things didn't work out in my favor, and I ended up getting the opportunity to go to the weigh-ins instead. You know, I was trying to figure. For me, I knew that that fighting was what I wanted to do. Was when I contemplated how to email the police chief why I wasn't gonna make it because I had an amateur fight weigh-in I had to go into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was like, okay, which road do I want to take here, right?
You know, so which toe am I gonna step on? So. That's where I realized, all right, this is what I want more than this. And when it didn't work out in my way, I took it as a sign as, hey, you know, you are good for this, right? Because quite honestly, like the only thing that disqualified me was my transparency. I had told them that I had gotten a little buzzed, and I drove from like the bar from one bar in Norwalk to, you know, my house in Norwalk, which is like a couple minutes away, right? But because of that, I guess what had happened, why that disqualified me, because I guess there were like a couple months prior, like a couple weeks prior to that. I guess 3 New Haven cops like went to Vegas, and then they had like 3 of them get into a DUI accident while under the influence, and one of them I think died. So like that definitely wasn't a good image for them, and they ended up disqualifying me because of it.
No. Oh well.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so boom. You had your win, you had your first fight. What what other are you working any other jobs during the time?
Yeah.
Because obviously I know that the cop thing didn't fall through.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, what are you doing during
At the time
the
I was
rest of the
cleaning.
time?
I was cleaning porta potties.
Oof.
I was cleaning porta potties. Shout out, Mark, Mike. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you guys for letting me do this. I really appreciate your hospitality. Thank you. But those guys, man, they put up with a lot of my BS for a little bit, and they were pretty cool about letting me do my thing. And towards the end of my time there, they understood that this is what I wanted. But I was waking up like at 4:30 because I wanted to get there at 5. There was a time where I was like really bold, and I think I did this for like 5 months. I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning to get there by 4 a.m. so I can get there. I can at least be on the road by 4:30, get paid from like 4:30 to at least 3 o'clock, 2:30, because that builds up like about 11 hours or so, 12 hours. So I'm still trying my best to make 10 plus hours a day, right? Because I want to make sure that the bills are paid and everything's taken care of. And then from there, I would say I'm getting home because I'm driving from Monroe to Stratford. I would say it takes me I get out 3 o'clock, not getting back to the house till almost 3:30ish, 4 o'clock, right? There's always traffic, and then taking care of what I got to take care of the house. And then from there, go to training from like 6 to about 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay, so I've done the 6 to 9. Like obviously, that's a normally regular training. But I know, like as of someone who's trying to fight, you don't just get home and get to go to sleep because you have to eat. Sometimes you might have to meal prep for the next day. Obviously, quality time with family and those types of things. Laundry, people don't forget how much like that takes time.
Yeah.
So around what time would you get to bed if your training is done at 9 and you have to be up at 3 in the morning, bro?
I would say that was because at the time I was living in Stratford and I was doing just the jits. So it wasn't like crazy late. I was going to bed like almost at 11 o'clock at night because I still had to take the dog out and stuff like that. And
so you're getting a good 5 hours of sleep.
And it's not that I drag out like me taking my dog out, but also like keep in mind like I'm away from my house all day. And then on top of that, I only take him out for like 20 minutes, bring him back inside and then go train for another couple hours until, my wife gets home, But he's inside like majority of the day. So like at the end of the day, like I try taking him out for as long as he wants,
His enjoyment.
For his enjoyment, because I have to think about, he's an animal. He's a mindless animal.
You can't just trap him.
Trap him in the house. So I'm not getting into bed till like almost 11 o'clock and then doing the same thing the next day.
How was it cleaning porta potties?
Porta potties, bro.
How was that, bro?
Oh man, it was,
I can't imagine the stuff you see.
Dude, it really became like a real pain. I would say like really when I decided to take this a lot more seriously. When I was getting ready for that fight that I had in October was when I was still working that job. But I decided, I was like, yeah, maybe waking up at 3:30 isn't exactly a smart idea. Maybe I should wake up at 5, get there by 6. Maybe my hours might hurt a little bit, but it is what it is, I got to make sure I get at least 6 or 5 hours of sleep. But at the time, dude, I was waking up that early, getting back to Norwalk. It's like a 20-minute drive to get back. And then I got to be at the gym by 6 o'clock, And then usually we're training from 6 to 9, and then I do my stuff after. So I'm not getting back to the crib almost like 10:30, bro. Yeah.
What a life.
Yeah,
what a life, because I've also, dealt with some schedule that was very similar, where I'm up in the morning 6 and I'm getting the day going. And for me it was even crazier because I started training kind of a little bit while I was still playing soccer in college. So we still had training at 6:30 in the morning, right? And I'm commuting from Naugatuck. So I have to be in training or at the training room by 6:30. Training starts at 7. So I had to leave my house around like 6 o'clock because I live about like 30 minutes away. So realistically, to get ready, I have to wake up at like 5:30, right? 5:45 if I prepare the next day. And by the time again we do all the training and all that, I finish. Well, I train soccer in the morning, and then in the afternoon I'll go train martial arts. But at the time I didn't have a car, so I was taking the train. And if I missed the 8:30 train, which jiu-jitsu was at 8 o'clock, I'm not missing jiu-jitsu. Yeah, bro. And the next train doesn't come until 11:45.
Yeah.
So 11:45, I'm getting home. Luckily, I live like 5 minutes from the train station to my house. I'm getting home like 12:30, and I have like 30 minutes to rush and get myself prepared for the next day. And I remember how much of a toll that took, and I did that for a good five months. So yeah, I can understand that scheduling, man. It's not sweet on the body. It's not sweet at all.
When you were telling me your schedule, I was like, ooh. I remember that. Yeah. I remember those days. Yeah, it's definitely something that it's like it's doable, but it's tough, bro. It's not for the weak for sure. You know, you definitely got to be resilient here in your mind for sure, because it's like you know, you already know the mental toll it takes. It's exhausting, bro. You know, but I would say I didn't decide to do this like 100% out of my own accord. I would say I think the opportunity. I would say it's 50-50, because the opportunity presented itself in front of me. I decided to take it and run with it and not look back. And because, you know, I thought to myself, I'm like, man, I'm getting at that age where I need to decide. Like, I need to make a choice. It's either I do this or I do that. But it can't be like, I can't be 1 foot in here and 1 foot out here. You know, it's got to be one or the other, you know. And I was like, you know, I took a moment to really think about it. I was like, man, do I really want to keep doing this? All right. You know, this is what I want. I've already invested this much time into it. This is for me. This is what I need to do. And from there, bro, that's just, the rest was history. Like, this is why I say shout out to my two prior bosses, man, because truthfully, they gave me, I went to TriStar for about 2 weeks, and then I came back and they were like, hey, listen, you know, work is slowing down, not many orders, not many like things to go out there and clean. And they were like, hey, we'll pay you. We'll lay you off. We'll still pay you for the time that, you know, that you're away. And, you know, from there, we'll call you at the end of the season and see if you want to come back. But by that time, man, I had already just gotten the opportunity. When the season ended, I had gotten the opportunity to go train at Texteira's. And I was like, and their training schedule for the fight team is not job friendly for sure.
I wanted to ask how many fights did you have at Jonesy before you started training at Texteira's?
I would say one MMA fight.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
After my first MMA fight, because I already had the other 3 fights, so I had about 4 fight experience before I got there. And I remember my first day there, I was just like, oh man.
And this is like peak of Alex just stepping into UFC and just straight murdering people.
Yeah. I wasn't there for like the come up and like, you know, the ride on the come up.
But you're right now, you're kind of like at like the apex. You're like right there.
Yeah. I popped in right at the peak moment. Yeah, it was dope.
How was that? Because I've trained there, but I know that, you know, you don't just get trained to train with the fight team. Like that's something completely different. So obviously, I'm guessing you trained with the Gen Pop first, right? No,
it was straight fight team. Because
how did you get that opportunity?
So Glover, we already had like 3 or 2 other guys from Jonesy's go and train at Glover's with the fight team because I guess they have like a mutual business partner, and through there, you know, Glover and Alex decided to come to throw a seminar at Jonesy's. And man, let me give you a description of Jonesy's gym. Jonesy's gym is on the 2nd floor of a loft. It's a loft. It's a loft. It's really what it is. It's a loft. And he turned it into an MMA gym. And dude, like when Glover and Alex were there, I wasn't there for that seminar. I wasn't a part of the team yet. This happened, I think, in during the winter. I wasn't there yet. I just know that I wasn't there yet. But I was looking at the pictures and videos, and I'm like, man, dude, that gym is packed for how small it is. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Glover and Alex showed up there. I'm like, man, that's how I found out about Jonesy's. But getting the opportunity to go to Texteira's after didn't come until much later. Yeah. It was like it's funny because when I look at my life overall, it's like, all right, it's like a mini foreshadow of what's to come next.
That first day training with the fight team at Texteira's, how was your nerves? Because
dude, I called my brother that day. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get fucked up. These guys they probably don't respect me. They just think I'm some nobody. Fuck, I'm so nervous, And bro, I got mollywhopped my first day. Yeah, Hedgie dropped me with a body shot, And it's it was like a gang initiation, man. Earn your stripes a little bit,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but that was my first day. My first day there, man. It was a tough experience, but one of the coaches said to me, he says, if you're a fighter, you come back.
He said, if you're a fighter, you come back?
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. Because after getting hit, when you're not too experienced, you could see how some people get turned off from it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember my first time getting, I say this, it was like my first day training at Iron Lion. I sparred with I happened to get there on a sparring day. I was like, because normally we have boxing, right, at 6, and then we have Muay Thai. So, but for Muay Thai, we had sparring for Muay Thai. So I just finished the boxing class, and I asked him, I was like, yo, can I stay and do the Muay Thai? He was like, of course. So,
more bodies the merrier.
Right? And then the first person that paired me up with was my boy Justice.
Okay.
And I remember it was I just throw my first punch probably for my first actual real technique for the first time. And then I was sparring Justice, and I remember he was taking me ease at first, and then he threw a 1-2. And he threw a head kick, but I didn't know. I tried to, dodge the 1-2 with my hand down, and the head kick just hit me flush. Boom! And I remember that feeling of my head ringing, my ears dinging, and I've never experienced that. And then I remember thinking to myself, after that, by the way, I stopped sparring. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I went through for a little bit, bro.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna sit down for a little. But it was it was that moment where it was just damn, this is what the sport actually is. Yeah. It looks sweet when when you're doing it, but receiving at the other end is a reality you have to come to terms with. And I was just like, nah, I want to learn how to block that head kick and throw my own. So there it goes. The next day I was right back in there, baby.
Nah, yeah, dude. I think the only time I've experienced really what it's like to get rocked for real was at a boxing gym. And it was against this Afghani guy who was like a.
Can you could bring the mic a little bit closer? You're good. Yeah, you don't have to bring it closer. Just make sure it's pointing. Yeah, you're good.
My bad. But I think the first time I ever experienced getting rocked like that was at a boxing gym, and it was by this really good dude. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but it was at this gym in Danbury. Funny enough, it was a boxing gym.
Is it Champs?
No, not Champs. No, because Finelli runs that, and Finelli still works with Glover to this day. Actually, he's been teaching us this whole week.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. But I remember getting hit. We were just drilling, dude. We weren't even sparring. We were just drilling. This kid's got heavy hands, bro. Oh my God. When I tell you, just precise and heavy hands. And he hit me with some shit, and he hit me, and I remember everything slowed down. It was like, whoa, like a video game. And I'm like, whoa. Dude. And the coach is looking at me. He's like, because I'm like stumbling and wobbling. Dude, I grabbed my bag and I left.
I need to go home, take a nap.
Bro, I need to go. And I'm being serious, bro. I grabbed my bag. Like, after that, I took my gloves off. I'm like, all right, maybe I need to just chill. Let me breathe for a sec. I tried going back in there, and it was just more me being too afraid, too tense. And I was like, all right, yeah, you know what? Let me just not push it. Let me just cut it here and come back, regroup, do it again,
How long have you now been with Texteira's?
I've been with them. We're about to hit a year now, man.
Oh, so like kind of fairly new.
Yeah,
Dude, you know what's so crazy? Because I've met you about like a year ago.
Yeah, you met me right when I first started going around there.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, a very cool story as well. Like I think it was like just, faith. I remember the first time I met you, it was like literally when I just started training. Like just started training. And I remember we talked for like a couple months. And because for people who don't know, I was working at a strength and conditioning gym. Is how I met Randy. Funny enough, he was like, "You fight?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to fight." And then but I remember my first smoker.
Yeah.
That you kind of, we played around a little bit at the gym, and then just having someone like you who's already in it, doing it, give me advice, made me feel so comfortable going into like my smoker, bro. So I just want to say thank you for that, and thank you for all the help that you've, like it might not seem like a lot, but picking up little details that you've been giving me and things like that. So I'm very appreciative of that, man.
Oh, thank you. I'm really glad I can help you guys in any way, shape, or form, dude. I feel like what gets us to this point are the people around us, for sure. The training partners and the sacrificial lambs that put their bodies in, that let us kind of do our evil work,
Isn't it crazy? Like we're learning to hurt each other in the most efficient way possible.
Dude, yeah. A lot of my closest bonds come in this, and we beat the hell out of each other every day.
And I try to tell people that like it brings you closer to like each other in ways that like you won't understand unless you're doing it, right? Now, for example, it could be like there's a party, it could be something, and I'm just like, I need to go support my friend, or I gotta help my teammate train, because he has a fight coming up, and I'm like, I'm so like invested into them, just the same way they're invested into me, like I say this all the time. I'm only as good as my training partners, so yeah, man, you build such a close bond with your training partners, and especially I get more nervous watching them fight than me fight.
Dude,
holy crap!
My hands start shaking.
My first fight your fight when I went to, it was a fantastic day. We had one of the guys from our gym that was fighting. Shout out to Hector. He won his belt that day. And then you also had a fight that day, and you won your belt. Yeah. And I remember watching you, and you had a phenomenal, what was it, second round KO?
Third round KO.
Yeah. And man, I remember like how nervous I was because the dude you were fighting was jacked. You look jacked as hell.
Yeah.
And then but yeah, man, you laid him out, and that I remember just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, oh man, it's so awesome.
Yeah, man, dude. To get to that, to get to this point now is even now, like I feel like this is just the beginning of the journey. It's so much has happened, and we're just starting.
Insane.
It's crazy this crazy life of ours. You recorded a video of me like where I was crying, dude, and I was gonna tell you about that, dude. That was like for me. I'm really glad and I'm really happy you captured that, truthfully, because
after the win, just so they understand.
Oh yeah, after the win, yes, after the win, that was very emotional for me, bro, because for a little bit, it started to feel like my wins are an accident as opposed to hard work, and after taking 3 losses in a row, bro, for sure it messes with your confidence, so. I was like, man, am I really just not cut out for this? Am I really just, is this what I'm supposed to be doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? 3 losses in a row, bro. You start questioning yourself a little bit, and I hope to God no one really goes through something like that. But bro, going 3 fights in a row to lose, dude, it's definitely tough on your mind, and kind of makes you question if you want to go back out there again, But I told myself that if I decided to hang it up, it's going to be after a specific fight. And there was the one I had in April. And I was like, man, if I lose this, then that's it. I'm just going to do this as a hobby. And this is as far as I was meant to go, bro. And because I told myself, man, this time I've got no excuses. I quit I quit my job. I'm training with one of the best teams in the world. I've got a coach that really believes in me and really believes I can do it. I got people that support me, and pouring so much love into me, man. If I can't make this happen, then that is it. This is over for me. This is as far as it was meant to go. And I came out and I dominated, but I was like, man, I think I just got lucky. And then when I went out on that second one, right, it started for me. That's where the picture, that's why I got emotional, is because, like, for me, the vision of this, all of the work that I've been putting in is finally starting to come together. Yeah. Just a little bit. And for me, I'm like, man, I guess I'm not just lucky. You know, this is it. This is what I've meant. This is it for me, you know? And that's where I started crying, dude. I'm like, man, like I'm like, yo, thank you. This is great. So I'm really happy you recorded that for me, bro. I will forever cherish that. That's my favorite video.
That's awesome. And you know what's so crazy? Like, when I saw that you were, you know, that you got down and I saw the look on your face, it reminded me of the feeling that I felt after my my first smoker. And for me, it wasn't like so much as like, oh great, like I got the win, that like I was happy. I was just happy because I knew how much sacrifice it took for me to even step in there that day. Dude, all the times where like I'm getting no sleep.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like barely eating. I'm freaking like pretty much going to like the brink of my limits, just so I can train and do that. And the fact that I freaking did it, man, and it was just like, yes, like it was like for the first time. It's so crazy. I've done a lot of things in soccer where, you know, I've won multiple. I have a shit ton of medals, shit ton of trophies. I've played against the best in the country, whatever it was, you know. But I was never more proud of myself than that moment. And that's to say also, like, you know, you have prom, you have graduation, you have all the things that kids care about. I never cared about anything like that. It's like I've always wanted to test myself to like my absolute brink. And that was like my reassurance. Like, you are meant to you are able to do this. Like, you are able to push when things aren't in your favor. And like when I saw you crying, man, it was just like, I was like, damn, I could feel that, bro. Like, I felt it, and you didn't even have to say a word. I just know, man. Yeah. So bro. Yeah, that's why I recorded that.
Yeah, man. Of all the highlights I've got, man, that for sure I think is my favorite video, bro, for sure.
No, that's awesome.
You captured such a raw moment for me. That was definitely no words to put onto it. Just truthfully, it
was raw.
It was awesome.
Raw emotion. Yeah. Okay, so fast forward to your recent trip to Thailand.
Yeah.
Man, how was that?
Man, that was.
You was with the lady boy.
Man, dude, they are everywhere, bro. I would say Thailand, man. It's a little bit. I went to Bangkok for about a week. No, not even a week. A couple of days, but I was mainly in Phuket. I was mainly in Phuket the entire time. The beaches are great. They have like this one strip called Bangla Road where it's like just complete degeneracy on, you know, and it's like
good times.
Yeah, bro. Yo, let me just say, bro. There's this thing called the ping pong show. That
if you're watching,
yo,
and you want to see some really cool skills, look up Thailand ping pong show.
Yeah, bro. I'll tell you what, you're gonna have some memories burned into your brain for sure, bro. So much talent
everywhere.
All
kinds of talent,
man.
We kept in touch a little bit while you were in Thailand, man. And I remember you giving me a call one of these days, and you were like, yo, I just fought. I won a belt. Look at my knee. And your knee was like this size.
Yeah, it was huge.
And then you were like, yeah, I accepted the fight in 24 hours notice. Because I remember we were speaking like a week before. And you were like, yeah, I'm thinking about fighting maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. Yeah. And then you just called me and was like, I just fought. And I was like, I didn't hear about, like, you didn't tell me anything. So walk me through that. And how was that experience, man?
Dude, that was a funny experience. The first day there, I trained on a Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. And they had MMA sparring, and I was training with the with the owner of the gym, and he threw like some left hook, but he threw it with his thumb, and I still blocked it, but it got through. The thumb got through, and it scratched me right here on the top. I ended up getting 9 stitches for that. They told me to take like the week off, but not taking the whole week off. You know, I ended up training a couple of days once I started scabbing. I think during that time where I was going to hit the bag, I went to go do like a class or two. I think I got staph during that time because also I was getting really bad heat rash. And it was like the first time I ever had heat rash, like go all the way in my arm, other side of my arm, back of my neck.
And also, you're in a different country. Your body's not used to
it's
bacteria
a shock for sure.
there. And it's also probably humid as hell. It's probably a breeding ground for all that.
Dude. And the amounts of people that are there too, it's it's easy. It's almost, they call it the curse.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that with people traveling to go train out there, and yeah.
So I ended up getting staph, and it was an outbreak on my body, dude. I got it all over my arm. I think the total count was about 11 spots of staph, of which like I think 7 of them got really bad. So they were telling me that I had to do an IV antibiotic immediately. There was just no ifs and buts about it. They put me on that, and it was, I don't know what kind of IV antibiotics it was. It's the first time I've ever had an IV antibiotic get stuck inside of me, and I felt the tingles all over my body, and even into the tips of my hair, bro. I'm like, what is this?
What?
Yeah, bro. It was tough, bro. That's how I knew it was working.
Yeah,
dude. So
you getting feedback.
Yeah, I'm getting the feedback immediately, bro. But they were like, hey, you got 2 options, bro. They were like, yo, we can, the ones that are really bad, we can surgically cut them, and but you'll have to keep coming back, every single day to change the gauze and have us clean it, but this would be for about 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, no. I'm like, because this is the same clinic, right? And this is the funny part. There are a clinic is not somewhere the clinic is not where you want to go if you get like staph. You want to like just go to the pharmacy and get doxies, because the antibiotics they gave me like weren't even that strong. They gave me some like half strength antibiotic. And
you gotta get the black market stuff.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, but I ended up going to the hospital, and then they told me they can get doxies over the counter at the pharmacy.
Nice.
But these guys, they were like, yeah, 2-3 weeks if we surgically cut you, or we can stick a needle in there and then scrape it for like the next 4 or 5 days, and then you'll be back to normal, like training. I'm like, well, give me that option. Also because prior to that, they knew that, when they did the stitches, right? When they did the stitches, they told me like, yo, you cannot train for 2 weeks. I'm like, no, the best I can give you is like
a week.
And as you saw, I didn't even give him a week. As I just told you, I only gave him a couple of days for it to just start scabbing up, and I went back. But dude, I took the next option, and I had like 3 spots in my armpit. So they poked it with a needle, and dude, they were scraping. It's super sensitive here, dude. So she's like making the hole a little bit deeper and bigger, and just like then she scrapes it out, and I'm like, I'm over here just trying my best not to scream. But I had to do that for 4 or 5 days, and then I was back to training as soon as I could after that.
And then how many weeks of training did you do before getting that 24-hour notice title fight?
3 days. Not even weeks. It was 3 days. Yeah.
3 days after
I came back from that.
Oh Jesus.
So I guess during that time, like I was still shadow boxing in my room. I just tried my best not to sweat, because the outbreak was bad. They were like, dude, you literally are not allowed to sweat. Yeah. If you sweat, then you risk spreading it even worse. So they were like, dude, stay indoors until this shit is over.
I'm gonna try.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna try, bro. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too hard to convince me, bro. I've never had staph at that point. I thought I was gonna die, bro. I was like, dude, this is it. I'm gonna die in Thailand, bro, due to staph.
Damn, they were gonna say lady boys
without even getting a lick of a lady boy, But yeah, dude. Like I ended up having to stay in, but I guess I still stayed pretty sharp. I did a lot of pad work for like the next 3 days, and the trainers noticed that I was still sharp, so they were like, hey, you still want to fight? And I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, you'll fight in 2 or 3 weeks. Is what they told me that morning. That's what they told me that morning. They're like, yeah, come get your weight. They weighed me in. They took my picture. They were like, yeah, all right, you know what? 2 or 3 weeks, you'll fight.
What weight class did you?
I was gonna fight at 80 kilos.
And
I don't know what pounds. I don't know how to
80 kilos. So you're looking at probably like 185.
Probably. I would say no.
190.
85 kilos. I think is like no, I'm not sure. I think 80 kilos is probably 85.
Hey Siri, how many pounds is 80 kilos? Sorry, people, I'm terrible at math. 176.
Yeah. So I was supposed to fight at 80 kilos, and from there, I went back to the room, came back for training, sparring, because it was a Wednesday. We had sparring, and then after that, I went back to the room. I get out the shower, and then I get a text on my phone. He's like, "Hey, you fight tomorrow." I shit you not, the response on my phone was, "What?" Yeah. They were like, "Yeah, you fight tomorrow. You don't even have to co-weight. Just show up tomorrow at 6 a.m. And from there they'll go to the weigh-ins." I was like, "Hold on, brother."
What is going on?
I'm like, "Hold on, brother." I didn't say yes. I said what? You know? So, what I've been doing since I started doing this, 100%, full investment on me. It's what I've been doing. Whatever I make it a big decision or the next move, I always pray about it and I leave it in God's hands. Because I know that, I can only control what I do right now, Even if what I do right now affects the future, I just know that I'm in complete control of what I can do now. Whatever happens tomorrow, the day after, or so on and so forth is out of my control, right? So I was like, you know what, give me a sec. I prayed about it, and then I was like, yo, I need to see you face to face. So I'm gonna find you. Where are you? And then I go up, see him, and I find him, and I'm like, yo, you think I'm ready for this? And then he's like, of course. Brother. And I'm like, all right, cool. In my head, I was like, yo, you're not gonna bullshit me if you see me face to face. You can bullshit me on text, but you probably can't bullshit me face to face. But he was like, brother, yes, of course, go fight. Yeah. So I went out there and I fought, bro. I went out to 6 a.m. It was pretty cool, actually. We went 6 a.m. We met up at the front. It was me and two other guys, and we went in to weigh in. They had like the shorts there. We did our pictures, and we did like a more than just a face. It was like you know how Freedom does like the Freedom fights. They do the media. Well, they had the two opponents talk next to each other with the promoter in the center. They did the exact same thing for us, and that's where I found out that I was fighting for a title.
You're like, yeah, title on the line. All
title,
right.
Yeah. I'm like, yo,
how's that? How was that nerves? 24-hour notice? Because like, I don't know. Would I be more nervous fighting in 24 hours, or would I be more nervous fighting in 2 months? Because I feel like in 2 months, it's lingering in your mind the entire time. But 24 hours notice, I'm like, do you even sleep? Like,
bro, all of the emotions that I would feel in a camp, I felt in like overnight.
That's freaking
and I feel like it was like intensified a lot, because it was just like I have to get over all of these feelings that day. I can't go into I can't step into the ring like that, bro.
Yeah.
So I kind of make my peace with it the entire day. So I went that full day, went to go weigh in, did all of that, came back to the room, and I was like, yo. And now I'm just locked in this room all day until like the afternoon when it's time to go out there and fight. I'm like a little emotional.
Because they do same day weigh-ins.
Same day weigh-ins, yeah, same day weigh-ins. So I weighed in that morning. Keep in mind, I don't have to cut any weight.
Yeah. So that's.
I told him, I'm not cutting any weight, bro. It's 24 hours notice. I'm not cutting any weight.
Yeah.
But the guy he was supposed to fight was like this 3-time world champion and 2-time Patong champion, which is the stadium name that we fought in. He's a 2-time champion in that stadium. So the guy, 3-time world champion, 2-time champion in that stadium. That's who this German guy was supposed to fight. I think he was like on a 10-fight winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. The German guy was supposed to fight, yeah? He was like on a 10-fight winning streak. And to date, he would be the best striker, the best fighter I've ever faced so far. Right? So far. But I was, this guy looked at me, he was like, I've got, 10-fight winning streak, and I'm going to win this title. And
he said that to you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what he said like during the interview. And then he asked me, he was like, yo, how many fights do you have? And I'm like, I've got about 5. 5, and I've got about, one Muay Thai fight. He was like, oh, one Muay Thai fight. Him, 10 fight win streak. He's going to kill you. That's what he says, bro. I'm like, it is what it is,
Get it cracking, gang.
I'm going to do my thing.
Get it cracking.
And
I
think, that's where I really admired Terrence Crawford because of what he said, right? And I thought about that a lot. He's like, I don't care who we fought, who he beat. He didn't fight me yet. And that's the same mentality I always have from that day on. It's like, I don't care who he's fought, those 10 other guys or whoever. I don't care.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought me,
Dude,
and,
what a great experience that is for you. Like, what a great learning moment. Not just from how the fight came about, where you are, like you're in Thailand by yourself. You're not surrounded by all your friends and all your teammates, and not only that, you're not surrounded by your support system that you have over here, as well as your family and whatnot. Because I think those are all super important. But taking a fight on 24 hours notice and fighting someone with a lot more experience than you did, for the fight to go how it went and for you to come out the victor of that one, man, I that was such a great learning moment. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah. It was definitely a tough test for sure. Man, I got sparked with a flying knee that one. That I honestly didn't know what I got hit with.
What round was that?
That was the first round. That was round 1. At the end of round 1, I was like, damn. I got hit with something. I just don't know what I got hit with.
Do you remember what was going through your head? Like, holy fuck, what the fuck was that?
Dude, yeah, I remember sitting on my ass and I see this guy. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta get up. So I get up and I hold on to the ropes. I'm a little wobbled, but it didn't frighten me, bro. I was like, man, I just ate his best shot and I'm still here. There's no way this guy can hit me with something as strong as this and I come back and not be able to come back.
Yeah.
So I get up, I smile at him, and then I go on and I do my thing because I'm like, all right, well, shit, you got me. You got me. It is what it is. You got me.
Yeah.
Can you keep on getting me? I'm still here, And then finish off that round strong, comes in second round, comes out hot, comes out ready to go because he just dropped me at the end of the round. He dropped me in the last 20 seconds of the round. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing everybody go, oh.
The bets are going crazy.
And my trainers are in the corner. They're like, they're like that. Head on head. Like, And, dude, I survive. I come back. And, dude, I got 2 or 3 Thai guys speaking to me. My leg is all the way up here. They're massaging me. Whole thing.
Oils, right?
Yeah. And then the best feeling was after that round, they poured some ice cubes. So there in Thailand, bro, when you're in the corner, they have these trays at the bottom of your corner. So it's they'll dump you with water and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's really awesome. Dope experience. And I got the dude massaging me here, massaging me there, pulling my hair. I'm coming back too. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here. Oh,
they doing something.
Yeah. But I don't understand a single thing these guys are telling to me in the corner. They're they're so hyped that they're speaking in their own language, and I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. And then they realized that I was kind of a little I didn't understand what was going on, and they were like, "You big hot, go fight, you win. Big hot, you win." And then I was like, "All right, cool, all right, go out there and just fight my fight." But there was a guy, his name was Michael Sebas, who at the time I didn't know who he was because I do follow Muay Thai, but I don't follow Muay Thai enough to know all of its champions. But he's also a WBC Muay Thai champion. He's fought on one championship and is pretty decorated as a Muay Thai champion to be a Muay Thai champion. And I think he actively fights on RWS as well. He's from Cyprus and he's the only one that that was speaking proper English, and he understood what these guys were kind of trying to tell me. So he summarized it and told me, all right, dude, do this, do that. You're doing really well to the body. You'll keep going. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I went out there with that plan, and this guy came out hot, dropped him twice at the end of the second round. Third, dropped him again. Fourth, I put everything I had into that last shot I gave him, and I dropped him, and that was it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
I remember watching after you sent me the highlights, and I was watching. I was so hyped. Yeah. I think I was in a car. I don't know where I was going, but I just started screaming
Yeah, bro.
Bro, yeah, that was a sick moment. That was a sick moment for sure, man. And
got $100 for that fight too.
no, you got 5,000 baht, baby.
Yeah. You know, I got 5,000 baht.
Big money.
For me, that was big money. I told you, yeah. Even though 5,000 baht is like about like $100 here in US, for me, 5,000 baht, I thought about it in Thai terms. I'm like, man, $5,000, baby.
Yes, sir.
That's what I got, $5,000. You know, but yeah, that was pretty cool, man. That was a dope experience.
Now you've came back home. Which let me ask, did they offer you any other fights while you were down there?
Yeah.
Right, because you had like about like a month left after that last one. But I mean, granted, seeing how what damage you sustained in that one, did you feel like you just were okay to not fight again, or?
At the time, I'd rather focus on MMA. You know, I'm one of those that believes that whatever it is, whatever sport you decide to do, it's 100% focus in just that. You know? So they offered me to fight 2 or 3 weeks after that one, and I not only did I just get concussed, bro, I also had a staph right after that one too, and I got it in the worst possible area, bro. I got it in my no man's land. That's what I like to say. And bro, I had to go to the hospital, and after they like did their whole thing, they cut it open and stuff like that. I had to sit on like in a toilet bucket for like 20 minutes in the morning after I shower, and then 20 minutes in the evening
to let it air out,
to like let it drain out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A little zip bath is what they called it.
Zip bath.
Yeah.
So welcome back, man. How is coming back to training at Texteira, seeing your friends in Jonesley, getting back to doing your strength and conditioning? Have you been happy to be back?
Yeah, bro. I'm really happy to be back. I would say after 3 months of training in Thailand, like I was really in fathom. I was just in total awe, honestly, as to the whole training that I was doing, and it was really good, really effective training. Cool. I met all kinds of people, dude. I got invited to a gym actually out in Moscow, Moscow, Russia. Yeah, the guy.
If you ever need a cameraman, know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He I wanted to go out there and work on my wrestling for sure. I feel like that's the whole purpose of this, man. Not only do I want to accomplish things in the sport, but I also do want to travel and see the world and get to know people, man.
Yeah.
Being there, getting to meet all kinds of people was definitely a cool thing.
Not just meeting people, exchanging information. That's one of the things why I love so much about the sport is like all the people I've met have been so like kind to just give me knowledge, and I feel like it's kind of like my duty now to like pass it on. Now I've been doing private trainings. I've been helping coach some of the classes now. I get that. I get the culture of like people are willing to give it to you, and it's your job to like give it back, So
yeah, man, it's definitely been such a privilege getting to learn from some of the best in the world, man. And still, I would say the only thing that's different from this place in Thailand is obviously the Muay Thai trainers. But man, I'm still.
You
doing
got big hot, go out, win.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a slogan. I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt. Big hot, you win.
Well, Randy, this was an amazing podcast, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
I can't wait to continue following your journey on. I want to say thank you for having you on today, and also thank you for the training.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Truthfully, dude. Like you said, bro, we got to meet each other right at the beginning of our journey, man. And quite honestly, I'm really excited to see how you're gonna flourish, man.
Bro, likewise, brother, likewise. All right, everyone. I can't wait to see you guys next time, and Randy will definitely do a part 2.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Your boy's fighting September 12th.
MSG, right?
I'm a backup for the MSG card.
Okay.
But I'm fighting at Melrose Ballroom September 12th.
Nice. And I forgot to say, Randy, please, before we leave, do you want to tell your social medias? Where can they follow you?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me at _Silverback MMA. You could also look me up at Silverback MMA on YouTube, or just put in Randy Kevin Mendes.